Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall. When last we left, um, Whatevs was a little bit of an inconsistent Shadowrunner. She did not really account for herself very well in the last run, in that she let a sob story cause her to almost break the terms of her contract, and did only ended up fulfilling her contract in a way that was rather embarrassing for her. Part of that was due to the dialogue options provided, and part of that was due to my own choice. Now, I did know something was up based off the Shadowrun etiquette options that were listed, but those weren't available to me because I didn't have Shadowrun etiquette at the time, so I chose not to act like they were there. Still, there was also the fact that, some of the dialogue options, they didn't let me respond to him giggling and at the dead bodies before our employers showed up. Sort of like James in the other run previous did not give me a chance. Really, I tried to ease things up and pass along as we're just maintenance, but James, the mage, wouldn't let us get away with that. He was too impatient to get to his meat. He didn't want to take any more time. All of this, now, the one previous that my team wasn't on, the one with the lodge, definitely didn't like. It's like, I'll never betray my principles, and his response was, you don't belong in the shadows. Now, the principles she was talking about, in this case, my real life, my principles, I don't like a lot of what the Shadowrunner characters do. But the principle she was talking about, that is, first of all, he lied about what he wanted her to do. He gave some very specific things about what we were doing, but he did not tell us the whole story. Now, to be perfectly frank, that's to be expected. The entire reason that you hire Shadowrunners is so you have someone who's insulated from knowing the whole story, so that if they get caught, they can't reveal too much. So that didn't bother me too much, but he was going above and beyond the pale. You hire someone for saying it's one type of job and it's really another type of job, that's really dangerous to deal with, that kind of person. The other thing was, he set up the entire thing as a test, which is, yeah, it's like he wanted to see if I could handle myself in changes. That I could see understanding that a little bit. But it's quite clear that the mage knew who he was dealing with and thought he was hot shit. Really, if his entire thing was, we just have to trust that what we're doing is for the greater good, going with the lodge, I could never be sure if they weren't going to stab me in the back on every mission. I mean, what they were looking for was somebody who was greedy enough not to ask questions, and yet competent enough to get the jobs done. They wanted somebody skilled, but willing to turn a blind eye, and that's really not a safe position to be in. Anyway, may have messed up hair fuse. Whatevs, Frau Muller should be on her way, but before you go to the meeting site, I have news. Emsler calls over his shoulder at the sound of your approach. His eyes are glued to the computer's display. He glances at you, his words trail off. It can wait. Tell me what has happened. Upon seeing the grave expression on your face, Vamsel's voice becomes grave. I had some trouble on the U-Bahn. Somebody set up... Shouldn't that be we? I'm going to go down here. Somebody is hunting us. They set up an ambush on the U-Bahn line. Amsel pauses, then gives a quick nod. Truth be told, I've been expecting something like this, that something like this might happen. I'm just glad you made it out alive. Hands over the encrypted PDA. One of the attackers dropped this. Yes, I should be able to extract some information from this. Give me a moment. He plugs the PDA into his computer and goes to work. A few moments later, he lets out a grunt of dismay. Well, whatevs, I was able to recover a file, but unfortunately that's all I'll ever be able to pull off this thing. All that anyone will, truth be told. It must have been running some kind of counter-intrusion software. The instant that I gained access, it bricked itself. Amsel disconnects the useless PDA and drops it to the ground. It clatters to a rest on the metal floor. What did you manage to pull off of it? I'm not gonna... This other stuff is needless blame casting. Com file. The audio is all here, but it looks like we've only got video from one side of the conversation. Let's see what we have. He opens the file and a nightmarishly familiar face appears on the screen. Bachmeyer. The voice bleats out from Amsel's speakers, filling the room. Audrin here. What's your status? Bachmeyer's image is garbled, but his voice sounds young and eager. Tuck it quiet, sir. You were right. We spotted her on the U-Bahn, just like you said. Probably on her way to a job. As per your instructions, we're going to try to take her out on her way back. She'll be more vulnerable that way. Hopefully injured and low on ammo too, but only time will tell. Good man. Proceed as instructed. There is no ammo in this game. Will do. Cosman is rigging up an ambush spot now. We'll try to make it quick. Send me a comm when the job is done. Audrin out. The orc with the nightmare face nods. The image on the computer screen dies. Amsel turns to face you. Well, our scarred friend makes an appearance. Whatevs, I suspect Green Winter's predictions are coming true. I believe that Fairstring is behind this. Out of character, I'm still doubting that. That reveal came way too quick for it to be the only twist in a Shadowrun game. Under Amsel's patient exterior, you can feel the worry that's been eating at him. Be on your guard. You and the rest of the team. Shouldn't that be the team? Kind of all in it together. You made it through this attack relatively unscathed, but next time you might not be so lucky. At least I carried us through this attack? No, you didn't. At least now we have a name to put to the face. Audrin. That's not all we have. As I was saying when you first walked in, I have been productive as well. I was able to uncover some new evidence in your absence, and coincidentally enough, the evidence pertains to our scarred friend. You might recall that I said I'd dig into Audrin's skin grafts. Well, I did. But that search has finally borne fruit. One of my contacts outside of Berlin handles the paperwork for private hospitals all across Germany. It's a dull, boring job, but it does have its perks. Amsel pulls open... I don't have enough biotech. Open a file on his computer. A medical chart opens on the screen. As it turns out, our scarred friend's skin grafts were performed at a legitimate hospital after all. Some good news for once. What did they say? Well, they are rather light on identifying information. Our friend's name is listed as Max Mustermann, the local equivalent of John Doe, which, them being German, they would both know that. That's for the English speakers, like me. But they do cover his injuries in great detail. Audrin's injuries were extensive. He had 2 broken ribs and a shattered pelvis, and he had sustained third-degree burns over 60% of his body. Most damningly of all, he was suffering from acute radiation poisoning. His body had absorbed over 5,000 millisieverts, I don't know how to say that unit, of ionizing radiation, a lethal dose without treatment. The information dries up at this point. We know that he was treated and discharged, but what happened afterward remains a mystery. He pauses for a moment, studying your reaction. Your thoughts? Hold nothing back. I'd like to hear everything that comes to mind. I have spent some time in the SOX. That radiation poisoning didn't happen on its own. Agreed. 5,000 millisieverts is a lot of exposure. Short of basking in the glow of an unshielded reactor, I don't know how he'd have absorbed that much ionizing radiation without spending time in the SOX. Alright, so Audrin was heavily irradiated, most likely from time spent in the SOX. What else does this tell you? Well, those burns sound like Dragonfire, but if the Firewing burned Audrin, why would he be working for her now? I don't think Audrin is working for the Firewing. I believe that he is serving her. On Green Winter's second DVD, he mentions that there is a cult within the SOX that worships the Firewing. The disciples of the Cleaning Fire. I believe that Audrin belongs to this cult. That's bad news. There's nothing more dangerous than a zealot. My thoughts exactly. A hireling can sometimes be bribed or reasoned with. A pawn can be liberated. But if the Fire-Winged soldiers look upon her as a goddess figure, nothing short of killing her will deter them, and even that might not stop them. So it is possible that Audrin is a dragon cultist. This seems to fit with much of the other information that we've uncovered. Did any other red flags jump out at you? The hospital couldn't ID Audrin. Either somebody covered his tracks for him or he was living completely off the grid. Indeed, if Audrin were a denizen of ASOX, a glowpunk, his lack of identifying information would make sense. He adjusts his glasses. It's a working theory at any rate. So to sum up, Audrin has probably spent time in the SOX. It's possible that he even lived there as a member of Fairschwing's dragon cult, and he is after you. Hemsel pauses for a moment before continuing. In my mind, all of this reinforces one fact. We need to find Vauclair, and we need to do it fast. I think we might end up finding Vauclair as part of the cult. Agreed. Good. And that's all the more reason to gather Alice's fee as quickly as possible. Vauclair might have the most information. That's how that follows. There is a buzzing sound from Paul's wrist. He lifts his hand to look at his PDA. As luck would have it, Frau Müller has arrived. Best of luck at the meeting, whatevs. Remember, this is urgent. We need that money. I'm on it. Okay, let's talk to people about previous job. Yeah, let's do it. I don't think it's an event-driven game. I'm curious, Dietrich, why did you switch from running a band to running the Shadows? Honestly, working the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fine and good when I was a kid, but just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left the band behind and I turned to the Shadows. I don't know, I guess I figured that would be the best way to find one. Considering current events, I'd say that you're not wrong about that. Yeah, I guess not. Feels kind of daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kind of satisfying having a white whale to chase. How long have you been looking for a real enemy? Not too long. Ever since I took down the last one. The last one? Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I follow the Creator or the Moon Maiden, but the Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting. If I'm not doing either of those things, I'm looking for a bigger, better fight to get in next time. Dietrich produces a flask from his jacket pocket and raises it in salute. It's remarkably simple code to live by. That's pretty much what my Oni lived with. She didn't particularly enjoy it, but that is pretty much what she lived with. Who was this last one? Gang boss, great big orcish bastard called the Wildschwein, led the local chapter of the Horde. I'd had my sights set on him and his for a while. They'd hurt a lot of people, and I figured that they'd pose a challenge. I wasn't wrong about that, but I took him out in the end. When does this pattern end? Well, boss, the way I figured it'll end when I pick a fight that I can't win. He smiled sadly. Might be this one, maybe the next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. But that's the way Dragon Slayer wants it, and who am I to refuse him? That's enough talk for today, boss. Besides, you've got other things to do, I'm sure. Thanks, Dietrich. Let's see what he knows about other things. Have you heard of an organization called the Lodge? Lodge? He freezes up. Boss, do you mean the Black Lodge? I don't know. Maybe. Lodge was all I heard. Let me describe it to you. You can tell me if what I'm saying fits. Shadowy, powerful, secret of hell, with deep pockets and a penchant for hiding the truth. They conduct all their business through dupes and go-betweens. Gives you a sound sideways glance. That sound about right? That's them in a nutshell, yeah. Well, if it's them and whoever you're talking about, I hate saying it is, then I'd advise you stay away from them. Stay far, far away. Whatever you do, don't take their money. If you do, they'll own you. Take it they're dangerous, then. More than you can know. Most folks don't even believe they exist, but being a shaman in Berlin has its perks. I've seen enough evidence to believe. Tell me what you've heard about them. Well, the story is the Black Lodge is the mother of all conspiracies. Supposedly they've been around for hundreds of years, and they've been practicing magic since well before the Awakening. Impossible, I know, but I believe it. You ever hear of the Masons, the Knights Templar, the Bavarian Illuminati? They were all puppets of the Black Lodge. None of them knew who they were working for, but the Lodge was there pulling the strings. They always have been, and they still are today. That's the story. I see. Well, thanks for letting me know. That gives me a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Suddenly, I could use a drink. Any thoughts on the last run you'd like to share? Hell of a thing, wasn't it? The run made me glad that I don't have to spend a lot of time in hospitals, I'll tell you that much. There wasn't a single aspect of that building that didn't make me feel uneasy. Anyway, that sick bastard of a rigger is dead, and we got paid. Feels like a win to me. Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's going to take some time. I was thinking about what you told me earlier. You said that your idol was going to make... I'll ask about that later. I know you... Okay, Ager's not going to be happy. Whatevs. Any thoughts on that last run? It was a nice change of pace. A simple job with a straightforward objective. I'm not happy with the hit that our reputation took. You shouldn't either. We need our clients. We can't afford to get blacklisted. But at least you did the right thing in the end. Do you trust me, Aga? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I do. You've heard that much. I haven't always agreed with your decisions, whatevs, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. Good to know. Thank you. I'm not going to impress her. Nothing right now. Okay, she's not happy, and I'm not happy either. That was... Whatevs. What do you need? Personal kind of question? I'm not big on sharing in sport. Personal reasons. You understand, I'm sure. Of course, we all have our secrets. You are still... Okay, let's look at the mission computer. 6 unread messages. Claim payment for the pharma cleanup job. No sense mincing words. Your job performance was satisfactory at best. Your fee will be transferred immediately. Enjoy it while it lasts because you'll never work for us again. Yep, that's about what I expected. View all pending and active jobs. Mass data steal. Samuel Beckenbauer suspects the Mass Club is planning something nefarious involving highly toxic chemical. Wants to... End of recap. Okay. Back to roots. Shatness School. Really attention-grabbing headline, right? That's how the local news has been spinning it. Truth is, the schoolhouse was abandoned years ago and was being used as a humanist recruitment and training complex. You're kidding me. A friend of mine was going there after class and he said it was just a community center. I know none of you are fans of the humanists, but that entire chapter house got wiped clean. There were probably some kids in there off the street who were just looking for odd meals. Screw humanists for exploiting them, but they didn't deserve death. Good riddance to those assholes. Streets are a little safer now that they're all buried. When trolling on Humanist board and that place was totally wiped out. Volker Stahl was in charge of that chapter house. Good riddance to that piece of trash. Heh, just got offered a job to keep one of Humanist's lieutenants. Seems like Stahl is dead and a power struggle's already on the way. You're taking the job? Not my kind of work. But I gave the Johnson an address to one of your Tricks dead drops. Cheers, mate. Just finished up drinks with a chummer who was doing some biz up there. The real story is, Humanists did not want to pay for services rendered and hired some muscle. Some hired muscle went crazy and took them all out. So the muscle decided taking the whole place down would get the Nuyen back? Well, that's one way to make a living, I guess. Even if your friend did get screwed out of a bit of Nuyen, I don't think Humanists would even be worth the bullets, especially that many of them. Save the F-State. The time rise up against corporations. It's now. Fight for a free Berlin. You just fall off a time warp? The war is over and we won. Hard to imagine Berlin any freer. Maybe you just need to switch off to decaf? As long as any corporation is active anywhere in the F-State, we are all at risk. We must act! Corps are good for business and keep in their little corners. Why do you think we would we would help you. How naive to think they will stay there forever. Don't you see they are taking the freedom we all hold so dear? Plans are being made across the F-State. With the Shadow community on our side, we shall prevail. The F-State has its own way of dealing with those who step out of line. Take your politics somewhere else. Around here, we've got bills to pay. Shice, what a thrill. Had to do some simple data steal on an SK branch office. Turned into an OK Corral shootout. Never seen first response team that arrived that fast in my life. Had a Decker offsite run damage control. Managed to distract the second team, Seder Group, to a different building while we checked the car the first team came in. Lesson learned. Simple when it comes to Seder Group means something else. You stole the corpse response vehicle? Don't they have trackers on those things? Of course they do. Dumped it off the side of the road with a prime grenade in the back seat just to be safe. Nice one. Bragging about a nearly failed run on SK, is it worth them paying a Decker to backtrace your Shadowland account? Any idea what valuable data they were hiding in that branch office? No idea. Money was too good to take any chances with it. Safely delivered it and transfer cleared. Okay. Didn't we already deliver that? Yeah, well, okay. And that. Okay, need to do that one very well. That's doing well. I don't have 5,000 in my account. Screen flickers to life and Elliot's face appears. From the shifting background and ambient noise, it's clear this message was recorded on a portable device. Hoi, whatevs. Just want to tell you that I've met with limited success in working on that stack of DVDs. It's a thorny problem, but at least I'm making some headway. If you look at the table beside your DVD player, you'll find another recovered disc. I wasn't able to salvage all the files on it, but I think you might find what I did recover to be of interest. For my part, I'm going to continue working on the other DVDs. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't hold out that much hope, though. They're all badly damaged and suffering from disc rot besides. I'll be in touch. Best to you and your team. Message ends, and the image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. Payback is sweet. Screen flickers to life, and Maxim's face appears. He's wearing a broad grin, and you can hear the sounds of celebration in the background. Hey there, Muscle. Not sure if Tuck gave me the right address, but I figured it was worth a shot. I don't know if you heard, but our favorite Poly Club got hit from all sides by the F-State today. It was glorious. Anyway, just thought you'd want to share in Political Club. Poly Club, got it. Share in the good news, and thanks for your help back there. I don't think we'd have made it out there without you. Take care, whatevs. Message ends, and the image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. Thanks. Hey, whatevs. Uncle Dietrich told me that I could message you here, so I figured that I should. He probably told you I'm living at Samuel's, huh? Well, that's where I am. It's different. I'll give it that much. I like that I don't get pressured to hurt people here, so that's good. Nobody smacks me around, even though I can tell that a lot of the orcs and trolls want to. I do get yelled at a lot and called a lot of names, but I guess that making me feel bad about that kind of thing is all part of the plan. Life kind of sucks right now, but at least nobody's going to make me kill anyone. Uncle D says that it's going to get better, and maybe it will, I don't know. Anyway, what I mostly wanted to say was thanks for not killing me back at the Humanus compound. I had a gun on you, so you totally could have. But you didn't, and I'm really glad about that. Thanks, Alexander. Still alive. I guess I should thank you. You got me out of that horrible job alive. I don't think I could have made it out on my own. What happened to that run took everything else away from me, but at least I'm still breathing. The lodge turned me into a killer, whatever. That gnaws at my cuts every minute of every day, and I still can't sleep at night. Innocent people, normal people, died because of what I did. And you know why they made me do it? Because they could. I don't know. Maybe this doesn't bother you. You're a Shadowrun, after all. You kill people all the time. Just another day at the office, huh? Well, I'm not like you. I can't just kill people on a job and forget about it the next day. This is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I don't know how to live like this, but it's still better than not living at all. That's what I keep telling myself. So I figured that I might as well tell it to you, too. We need to talk? Come see me at earliest convenience. There's a matter we need to discuss. Recovery. This is Silk from the hotel. I hope it's okay that I'm writing you. Samuel gave me your email address. Anyway, just wanted to thank you for everything you did for me. Kicking my cram habit was the hardest thing I've ever done, and I don't think I would have tried if you hadn't talked me into it. To celebrate my newfound sobriety, I've decided to sign on as a volunteer at the charity. Who knows, maybe giving back to the community will help turn things around in my life. Thanks again, whatevs. I owe you one. Yours, Silk. Go back. I think that's everything. My timer did go off, so I'm going to go to a new video. See you in a moment.